Growing up, man, whenever my parents would ever give our name at a restaurant at the local diner there in Staten Island, we'd have to spell our name out, and we would just watch the name get totally butchered. Ison, Isen, Eisen. We'd have to say Eisenhower without the Howard and stuff like that. Joining us now is one of the top prospects in all of quarterbacking in the NFL, or I'm sure had the same experience in growing up having to spell the name Shough with two H's and an O-U-G in the middle. Tyler Shough joining us here on the Rich Eisen Show. I'm sure not many people introduce you in interviews that way, Tyler, right?
No, nobody ever gets it right the first time. But like you said, growing up, kindergarten was rough trying to explain it to my peers.
Well, or it was ruck, right? If you spelled rough, like that's the way it would be, right? So you'd have to say that, I'm sure, all the time in your life. You have to spell it out.
I know.
Correct?
I always told myself I was going to change it to Shuck, but it kind of, once you learn it, it just stuck, and everybody rolls with it.
There you go, man. All right, so hey, man, I loved watching you work out at the combine. I love sitting up there in the booth of NFL Network on the 50 and watching you run your 40. Why'd you run a 40, Tyler?
I wanted to go out there and have fun and compete, man. I think that's what we came there to do, and I knew, obviously, I ran faster than what I was anticipating to run, but I knew I was going to go out there and have fun and compete regardless. That was my whole mindset. This is the only time you get to do this. It was just a blessing to be there, honestly, for me and my story, and I knew kind of what I wanted to show was that anytime, any place.
Yeah, and we'll get to your story in a second. I just loved how you sort of gave the crowd sort of an "Are you not entertained?" arms outstretched after you crossed the 40 finish. I love that. That was fun.
That's my thing, is everybody's kind of coming in there super tight. I'm like, man, it's like dead silent here. Let's get everybody going. Like we're all trying to have fun. Like they're evaluating us. This is who I am. This is my personality. Let's have some fun with it.
And then no one else ran it, right? We had to wait for you to catch your breath, if I'm not mistaken. I had to tap dance on the air a little bit, Tyler.
I was like juiced up. Mark was like, "Are you ready to go again?" And I was like, "No, man, I need another minute. Let me get a breather." And but no, it was great. And then I wasn't supposed to necessarily run the second one because my people thought it was a good enough time. But since I was the only one, I couldn't go back and look at my time, so I was just like, screw it, I'm running again, and ended up running better.
You did, and so that was awesome. And then you went out and you spun it. What was it like being out there with your colleagues, fellow draftees out there spinning it at a combine, Tyler?
It was awesome. It was a lot of fun. For me, I love the change-ups that we did with the routes. For me, like I said, I wanted to go out there and have fun with it. Was kind of changing different platforms, different drops. You got 4, 5, 6 reps on each throw and with different guys, and I just wanted to show timing, show my drops and the consistency, with the offense that I played in last year, and I had a lot of fun doing it, and it was just a great opportunity.
And then I noticed my colleague went up to you afterwards, and that would be Kurt Warner, to chit-chat with you. Do you know Kurt from your Arizona connections, Tyler?
Yeah. Yeah, briefly. So I grew up training near him. It was kind of more of a mutual connection. I just wanted to say hello and ask for any tidbits, and he had some great things.
What did he say?
He was just, mechanically wise. Whenever you're getting fatigued, to drive your legs through it, not to be bendy at the waist. And it was a great point because, like, I wasn't really anticipating being that gassed after the 40, going right into the throwing, but it was a great time to go out there and finish. I don't know how some of the other receivers were going to be able to do cone drills the way they were running, but he was just catching up. He said he was a big fan, and he gave me his number, and I've been reaching out to him here and there.
You should, because he is very generous when it comes to that sort of stuff, and he is one of the smartest guys I know, one of the nicest guys I know, and is 100% when he said, here's my number. He does that for a ton of quarterbacks in the league, and I think it's pretty neat that he did that, and you should definitely take advantage of that, Tyler.
No doubt, I already have. I've done it multiple times, and he sent me a couple of videos and from him in his house, just demonstrating the stuff we were talking about, and it was awesome. And obviously, I mean, that's what it's all about to me. And obviously, I want to get into coaching and scouting whenever my days of playing are done, hopefully in a while. And just the relationships that you build and how you connect with everybody, and just seeing him doing that was was something I definitely look up to.
I don't know, Tyler. Not a lot of Hall of Famers do that after their career. How'd that sound? That just rolled off my tongue right there? Because you never,
Maybe be the first.
you never know. But in all seriousness, and that could be your future. Nobody knows. That's the beauty of the NFL, and that's the beauty of our sport and our league. Let's talk about your journey and the number of stops that you had in your college career and everything that you started with. Going from Arizona and then winding up where? Walk us through your journey to the moment, Tyler.
Yeah, no, I mean it's interesting, and like I said, I wouldn't be who I am if I didn't go through that and the adversity and the shortcomings that I had, and just every part of it. But I went to Oregon out of high school, backed up Justin Herbert for 2 years, and redshirted that first year. Had an unbelievable time there. Obviously, you come in as a skinny little freshman, and you think you're good, and you get next to Justin Herbert, who's 6'6", 240, and ripping the ball, and I'm like, all right, I got to get bigger, I got to get better, and 2020 stayed after he left and competed and won the job that year, and it was COVID year, so we only played 7 games, and we won the Pac-12 championship, went to the Fiesta Bowl and lost. But really looking back on that time, I mean, I was 20, 21 years old, just a young, immature kid who really wasn't playing that great, and was playing with a fear of failure, trying to make my coaches happy, looking over my shoulder, and ended up effectively getting benched by Anthony Brown, who ended up staying that last year. So, no NIL at the time. I just wanted to go transfer and compete and play, and that was Texas Tech, and they gave me an opportunity to go out there and play, and loved it there. First year was playing really good ball, and I just dove in the end zone versus Texas, and I broke my collarbone. Didn't get surgery on it. Whole staff gets fired, and the first time I get hit again next year, I break the same collarbone. So it was effectively kind of one collarbone break, and once I got surgery on it, I was back in 6 weeks, and we finished the year undefeated. And so I was super proud of that kind of resiliency and growth through that time. And stayed another year. It was the first time I had 2 OCs in my career. I've had 5 plus OCs, and that 2023 year was playing good, and it was an up and down year. I was playing good ball, but also times I could have been better. And there was times where I got booed. There was times I was the MVP. And so I'm like, man, I've seen all spectrums. And that 4th game, I get hip dropped and I break my fibula. And I'm like, man, like I should have played golf or something, dude. This is like, this is some rough luck. And but I was just it cultivated this itch and this grit that I knew, like, it's easy to compare yourself to others, and I knew that I had what it takes to play at the next level, and I knew I was better than these guys coming out, but I knew that I had to go through my own circumstance, my own situation, and learn from it and grow from it. Because when you're 22, 21, and you don't know what you don't know, and I was just so grateful to go through that. And obviously, I just told this to Coach Brom, and they believed in me, and knew it was just bone breaks, and you'll be fine. And I had a really good year there.
And so, with COVID, and also with redshirt, and with 3 transfers, 3 different schools, 7 years. Basically between now and when you left high school in Arizona, and then the bone breaks at your 25. How do you respond to those who ask you about your age and your injury history when you're being interviewed by these teams, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an advantage. Like I said, I've kind of had a crash course of the NFL. You got guys who are going to get cut, injured in the NFL. They're going to get benched, booed when you come in. And, I would have loved to have a 3-year illustrious career in college and everything go right, but then I would have maybe had a different sense of entitlement, or things were always going to go my way. And I feel much more mentally and physically equipped to go out there and handle the task because I've gone through it. And if anything, I'm more athletic than I ever have been, and in better shape. I just had the bone breaks. And, as a 25-year-old, like you see with Bo Nix and Penix and Jaden Daniels and Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield, guys are kind of really getting into their stride after they've kind of gone through some stuff. And then you got MVP level play by Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers well into their late 30s, and Stafford playing his butt off. And I think a lot of teams just kind of recognize that. And I feel like I'm the most pro-ready guy in this draft class, just with everything I've been through and my physical tools. And hopefully teams are on the same page with that.
Bravo, Tyler Shough. That's a heck of an answer. And I'm not just saying that you're giving me an answer. That was clearly something born out of experience and born out of what you've brought to the table here for the combine. Who have you spoken to Give me some names of who you've spoken to.
For teams?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I've had 10 draft visits scheduled right now. Early on, it was Steelers, Colts. We got Browns, Giants coming up. Who was the other one? Seahawks, Raiders, Titans, and Jets was early on. So there's been a game. There's a couple I can't remember, and then I got a couple more workouts, private workouts have just been scheduled with a lot of those top teams, and just really grateful for the opportunity. I think that I feel like my superpower has kind of been the mental side of it, the mental processing, winning pre-snap, but then also when you get me in the building, I feel like that's where I've excelled, and I've had to compete everywhere I've been. I've been a captain everywhere I've been, and I feel like I connect with a lot of the guys that I've been around just because I've been exposed to everybody.
You think you're a first rounder?
I think so. Like I said, I think I'm the most ready guy to come in and compete and start right away. But I also understand, like I backed up Herbert before. I've been benched. I've been hurt. So like I understand the chemistry of that quarterback room is so vital. So if I go to a team, you go to the Bills, I'm not going to start over Josh Allen. But how can I add value to him, and how can I be the best guy and learn and grow and support him? So I have that ego check to where I'm going to do the best thing I can to support, but I'm going to compete my butt off at the time and do everything I can to make the team better.
I don't mean to put you in any position, but is there a specific team where you really vibed? Like you're like, okay, I left that chat and they were into me, I'm into them. I kind of feel this right now. Anything yet, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't pinpoint it. I feel honestly every time I get out of a visit or a Zoom, I'm like, man, this would be a great fit. And I feel like I'm an adaptable guy. I'm gonna make it work out of any situation. And I'm just trying to let these coaches and GMs and scouts know what I'm about and how I can kind of add value to them. And but yeah, I couldn't pinpoint it right now. It's still kind of early, but hopefully as time goes on, I've definitely been getting a great vibe.
Do you have any plans for draft night yet?
Yeah, we'll be back home in Arizona with some close family and friends, just hanging out there.
What's that moment going to be like for you, do you think?
It'll be a great culmination of a lot of things. I think this whole process has benefited me because there was a certain point where I didn't think it was necessarily in the cards. So that's why I'm getting the crowd going. I'm not nervous through all these meetings and throwing because like, man, this wasn't supposed to happen. So if it doesn't work out, then great. It wasn't supposed to work out, but if it works out, then man, I'm going to play my butt off and I'm going to compete. And if I get drafted and wherever it is, I'm going to make the most of it and work my tail off. So it'll be just a great moment with everybody who's kind of been along for the journey.
Did you ever think of giving up at any point in the 7 years, Tyler?
No. I mean, I'm a human. I'm laying there and I'm getting carted off with my leg hanging on by a thread, and I'm like I said, I should have played golf, or I don't know if this is the right thing, but deep down, I'm like, man, I know if I get an opportunity, I'm gonna make the most of it, and I know I can play with anybody, and like it's just mentally hardened me. But I knew if I get an opportunity, and that's all I wanted, that I was gonna do it, and I feel like my best ball is ahead of me, and that's why my passion is just so high.
And then let me ask you the question I ask so many other quarterback prospects before they go to the pros. I've asked this of Jalen Hurts. I've asked this of Mahomes. I've asked this of everybody. Speaking of Texas Tech quarterbacks, what does a team get if they draft Tyler Shough?
I think you're getting a high level person and competitor that's gonna bring your team to the next level. Like I said, whether you're coming in and you're seeing me as adding value to the quarterback room, and supporting the starter, but I also feel like I'm the most priority guy that's gonna win you, that's gonna get you to the playoffs and get you where you want to be, because I've been through it. I'm not fazed by what's gonna happen on the field or off the field, and I have all the tools necessary to go make it happen. So I never flinch, and I'm gonna come out there and do everything I can to get better.
Tyler Shough, what a pleasure. Thanks for taking the time here, man. Like I said, I really enjoyed your energy at the Combine. It was fun to watch, and it was just great to see, and I'm so glad that you are taking advantage of Kurt's generosity, and because he loves it, and you should keep doing that, keep soaking it in, and I'm looking forward to following your journey, and then have you back on whenever you want. Thanks for the time.
I appreciate it, Rich. Thank you, guys.
You got it, brother. That's Tyler Shough, one of the top quarterback draft prospects from Louisville, by way of Texas Tech and Oregon and Arizona, right here on the Rich Eisen Show. Loved it.